In some ways, it's almost like smoking. In teenagers and young adults, you don't really see the harm until later, and so it's easy for people to ignore it. We get asked all the time, where do you get your protein from? And it's, we try not to smile, but of course, proteins are in plants as well as in animal food. It's just about impossible in a developed country to eat adequate calories and not get enough protein. It just doesn't happen, but it's one of those, truly a myth. I'm a pediatrician. I grew up in New York City in Brooklyn. And I practiced pediatrics for a number of years, both primary care pediatrics and emergency pediatrics. And the main medical issues you see in pediatrics with poor diets are type 2 diabetes and obesity in teenagers typically. And most of the harm, cancers, heart disease, stroke, all the rest, that relate to poor diets and meat-heavy diets happen much later in life. And so it's in some ways, it's almost like smoking. In teenagers and young adults, you don't really see the harm until later, and so it's easy for people to ignore it. I have had several conversations with physicians, pediatricians, who know science, who didn't really think about it and know that cows have to be impregnated to make milk. The culture is so deep on, well, cows are here for milk. No, they're here for their calves. We're the only species that consumes the milk of another species. That's unique and not particularly healthy for us. And our whole society is brought up thinking that if you don't drink 3 or 4 glasses of milk a day, your bones are going to fall apart. On average, on a population basis, a plant-based diet is healthier. It's definitely healthier. Farmed animals are raised in terrible condition, and then they're killed for food for us. And in our society, there's no need for that. We don't need to eat animals to be healthy, even healthier. A plant-based diet gives you much better odds to stay healthy and live longer, and there's plenty of science on that. One doesn't have to have a kale and lentil salad for dinner. There's plenty of plant-based substitutes, plant-based meats, and so on. There's also a lot of recipe books that make it easier nowadays. It's just not that hard. Take a small step if you're not there, and over a few months you'll be there. There's lots of resources, so it really is all win-win.